Sarun Sat Sri Akal and welcome to my health show with Manjeet Kaur, hosting this show Thade Nige Karavich every Monday at 9:40 p.m. I really want to capture the third and the fourth generation, so I need to take apologies and pardon. A lot of my shows will be in English, purely to help my younger generation to understand what we can do to maintain a good health. Our body is for our well-keep, and to take care of it, we are the caretakers of this body, folks. If we do not, then it will fail to function and we become victimized with various diseases. So let's take care of our body through my missionary work and with Akal Channel, hosting these shows in your warm homes and bringing a wealth of information of what I have managed to study in my 9 qualifications and 2 doctorates to make you aware. And until we are not aware, folks, we will not know what's going wrong with ourselves. Zindagi bahut anmol hai. In this journey, we are, going to be taking on good foods, bad foods, good information, bad information, good company, bad company, getting into spiritual levels. And then suddenly we realize, when the foods have been bad, what has gone wrong. Jo chaha, wo kabhi paya nahi. जो पाया वो कभी चाहा नहीं, जो सोचा वो कभी मिला नहीं, जो मिला उसका रास ही नहीं लिया, जो खोया सिर्फ वो ही याद किया कि इंसान फिर वही उत्ते ही सिर मारदा है कि वो नहीं चीज़ वो गवा ली है. लिटिल डिड ही नो कि उन्हें जो मिलिया सीगा ओदा रास ही नहीं लिता, ओदा आनंद नहीं लिता. सो आनंद जिंदगी दा लेना बहुत ज़रूरी है और जिंदगी दी MOT करनी रेगुलर बहुत ज़रूरी है. यही सही तरीका हैगा आ और यही मेरा प्रोटोकॉल हैगा ऑन दिस मिशनरी वर्क. लैके जा रही हैं तुहानू हर हफ्ते वधिया वधिया टॉपिक्स दे. अज दा टॉपिक जिहड़ा मैनू बहुत क्लोज टू माई हार्ट इज़ कोलेस्ट्रॉल, जिहड़ा कि साडी कम्यूनिटी दे विच दरवाजे दरवाजे ते खड़का रहा आ. It is having no caste, no race, no color, no creed, no age limit at all. They are serious problems. It is strange that jadon bhi main koi show kardi hai, it appears a month later, or 2 months later, 2 weeks later, it is bombarded in all of the English channels. Maybe they are listening to Akal Channel a lot. We spoke about sugar. They started saying sugar has to be taxed. Oh my God, remove sugar. Children are getting obese. 22 kg of sugar is eaten by a child of 12 years, 9,800 cubes of sugar. And then we did about the heart, that's come up. We did about in the chat shows, that's come up. And every time we're doing a show, we seem to be ahead. So stay tuned in the Akal Channel and you'll learn a lot more. Taking you on this journey of cholesterol, folks, it's so important that we understand what we are doing to our body. Food in the world is there to nourish. Cholesterol is a waxy substance which is found in naturally in our blood. There are good benefits, but the bad one is what we are going to be opening a lot of information for your personal well-care, and I hope you will take some message of mine at this hour of the night, purely taking this hour so I can reach out to the mass community of the 3rd and the 4th generation. It is produced by the liver, cholesterol. We absorb cholesterol from foods such as red meats, high fatty cheeses, butter, and eggs. Cholesterol is essential for good health, there's no doubt about it, but it only becomes a problem when the levels are raised and there's too much cholesterol in the blood. High cholesterol is an increased risk of heart condition and cardiac condition, and that itself will become a disease and you become a victim of cardiovascular disease as well. Cholesterol is transported in the blood and is as a vehicle, like I've come here to Akal in a vehicle, and it's called lipoproteins. 2 kinds of cholesterols are in the body, which is the HDL and the LDL. I'm going to explore both these. At the end of the day, I hope you will take some message and understand what my mission is to bring these shows, running my clinics here in Birmingham twice a month and that's about 6 days of the month. Sometimes 4 days of the month I'm in Birmingham. The rest of the time I'm in either Buckinghamshire. The clinic telephone number will keep coming on the screen is 07 886 880591. My clinic email ID is manjeetkaur51@yahoo.co.uk. You can approach me through both these forms of communication, but keeping my clinic opening times at 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. but not calling at ਜਦੋਂ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਰਾਤ ਦੇ 9:40 ਤੇ ਰਾਤ ਦੇ 11:15 ਤੱਕ ਟੈਲੀਫੋਨ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਲੋਕੀ ਕਹਿ ਦਿੰਦੇ we were just checking whether this is the right number. Please have a bit of sympathy and need my privacies at that hour of the night. So keep that number. Je number likh nahi paya, bar screen te aa raha, please ring a call channel. The staff is always willing to help you, to give you the number. So let's explore the HDL and LDL. दोनों ही चीज़ां जेड़ा LDL in the blood is what is the dangerous one, which is a build-up of the arteries that is actually narrowing the arteries, and you will see a chart coming right now. Jite artery is looking healthy, and where the artery is looking fat, where is a vessel like a tube, that is where the plaquing has started with the build-up of cholesterol, and that is now narrowing the arteries of the heart, reducing the pumping of blood to the heart, stricturing the flow and restricting the flow, which can cause a cardiac condition, which can trigger off a release of a clot. When the blood is not flowing, the bottom ventricle and the auricle are not thrusting blood to each other. Stagnated blood in the heart can trigger off production of a clot, which can then lead on some very, very unhealthy symptoms, which could be a stroke or a mini stroke. The increase of this LDL obviously is the one that triggers off the heart disease, and eating healthy is very important. Hence, it will, for the long run, you benefit. HDL, which is the high density lipoproteins, is what I am actually working and focusing on, is the good cholesterol, which helps to remove excess cholesterol from the bloodstream and return it to the liver. Amazing, dekho body ki kar diya. When you have excess cholesterol, HDL, the high density lipoproteins transport it to the liver, telling the liver to break this down further and send it to the intestine. You have not given this message. Your body inside, the mechanics of the body and the way the human structure works is so magnificent. I've never stopped exploring it. I've never been bored to read more, understand more, and having taken on 9 qualifications, it never stopped me from understanding more and more. And what people spend on properties, I think I've spent on my education. But at the end of the day, I've enjoyed every minute of it, and here I am running these shows for the benefit of our community. So when it goes to the liver will deal with it. It's broken down and passed out of the body. How amazing! So if your HDL is the right levels and it's not being subdued by LDLs, there you are, you're already a winner. Your body is moving toxins and moving things that it doesn't need. It works so magical. But taking action is one of the first things you need to do, is to maintain your healthy heart. You need to care for it. There's a time in the 70s, 80s when it was the age limit was 40 to 75. Cholesterol was sort of diagnosed at that time in those age brackets. And now shockingly it's 23 to 75. Young children of 23 having cholesterol. The youngest patient who came to me in the clinic in Birmingham was 8 years old girl who had a high cholesterol and a regular heartburn, could not go to school for 3 days of the week because she was getting heartburn. But we had to find out and explore why she was getting a heartburn, and that was 2 years of them haggling into pediatric wards to seek help for the only one bacha that they had. But we managed to get her back into good health. The cholesterol reading should be about 5 millimoles per liter of blood, which is a reading of 5. You will all be familiar with that number. And for women, it should be about 5 and under 5. But right now, statistics of 2012 is saying that 2 out of 3 people have high cholesterol. Isn't that shocking? It's a high burden we are putting on NHS, folks, that 2 out of 3 people now have levels of 5 and above. After 5.7, at 5, but Dr. Favi that look at your food, try to walk, get your exercise. But 5.7 is a serious risk of your cardiac condition. I had my, very close friends who were neighbors, and ਉਹ ਕਦੀ ਬਾਹਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਗਿਆ ਸੀ, ਉਹਦੇ ਕੋਲ ਪਾਸਪੋਰਟ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ, ਉਹ ਕਦੀ ਬਾਬਰ ਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਗਿਆ ਸੀ, ਉਹ ਕਦੀ ਡੈਂਟਿਸਟ ਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਗਿਆ ਸੀ, ਉਹਨੇ ਲਾਲ ਪਾਸਪੋਰਟ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਣਾਇਆ, ਉਹਨੇ ਜੀਪੀ ਨਾਲ ਰਜਿਸਟਰ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ, ਐਂਡ 8 ਸਾਲ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਹੋਇਆ ਉਹਦਾ ਕੋਲੈਸਟਰੋਲ ਸੀਗਾ 11 ਤੇ 5 ਆਰਟਰੀਆਂ ਰਿਪਲੇਸ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ ਸੀਗੀਆਂ. So, sometimes having blood tests and your doctor's calling you, you need to keep up with them and get these things checked out, because a stitch in time saves 9, as the saying goes. If you get there early, you can come out of that window and you'll be fine and healthy. Obviously, the risk factors that come in will be too much saturated fats in your diet. And you see how the pictures keep changing to give you information for those who may be not be able to have some hearing impairment, but at least can put up their volume, or those who have visual impairment can listen to me both ways. We are trying to put the show out for both disabilities, but also for the benefit of people who are physically able. Too much fat is dangerous. Obviously, the farmers in India, when they had full cream milk, and they had plenty of butter, and they worked hard in the fields to sow the soil, and they sweated, and the soils were so hard, so coarse, so dry, that working with the cows and the mules, they were using their plows and manually turning the soil over before they were sowing the seeds for the next season of vegetables, your rice, your wheat. But that was through really hard work. Are we really working on that same level to be eating all these saturated foods and more and more and more processed foods that we are subjecting ourselves? Obviously, physically inactive, sedative lifestyle, couch potato lifestyle is a big problem. And overeating and having a huge abdomen where the rib cage is raised up, reducing the capacity of lungs, keeping the volume and the spacing jadi Rab ne diti hoya, and cramping up all the organs in the upper diaphragm can cause serious problems. Excessive alcohol is a big problem. That is a shockingly, big issue with Punjabi people, and they'll have raised cholesterol, they'll definitely have a heart condition and a liver failure leading on to alcohol abuse. Paneer, so many different ways of paneer: fried paneer, makhani paneer, paneer with cream, paneer on a skewer, paneer pakode, paneer spring roll. There's a big story about paneer, which is the full cream milk which is compressed, which is being curdled, and all that full cream milk has gone through muslin cloth, has gone through presses to become paneer. But if the milk was not full cream, folks, paneer banega nahi. So let's steer away from paneer, and I'll give you better options into the second half of the show, telling you what we can do to reduce these bad cholesterols. Then going on to Indian savories. All the chevde and the matri. Mattiyan is the worst food. Matti has got the most saturated fat and most lethal for your gallbladder and your biles, ducts and your bile juice. Excessive bile juice will be made, and you'll end up having gallstones. So there's a research done about 8 years ago when a scientist used the Indian chevda, put one glass and did it under a manual press, and squeezed out a quarter glass of saturated dark brown oil which was inside the chevda, and clinically said this is not safe. So Indian savories and Bombay mix and matris and all these things are a form of your savories. They are better choices. Please, let's choose those. And then the palm oil. a big problem with palm oil, which is heavily used in India, and lot of food is coming out to the Western world. The worst is the Pauline biscuits, where our people are buying 5 for the price of £1. But burnt oil is so carcinogenic for your heart, so lethal for your cholesterol, maybe so tasty to dip in your cha, but for God's sake, stop feeding your children with burnt palm oil. Read the ingredients. Why do you want to have burnt palm oil in your food, in your cakes, in your biscuits? And this is a cheap form of oil which reduces the price. Hence, buy 5 packets for the price of 1. But are you going to get a very good cholesterol, or are you going to get 5 new lives? A cat lives 7 lives. A human being only has 1 beautiful life. We are the caretakers. If we do not take care of our body, if we do not understand what food we are putting in or what we are trying to put in, are we breaking it? Are we exercising? All these things is for you to understand and for the bells to ring in your head, that we take care of our cars. Why is a status of a person measured by the car he runs, the house he lives in, the area he lives in, the designer clothes he wears, the quality of the watch he wears must be the high brand, the brand of the phone must be good. We seem to measure friends and relatives in that status. It could be a humble person, very healthy heart, very clean thoughts, but simple, humble background. Those may be the best friends of your life that you may need to choose. Let's not brand our life with branded stuff, but brand our life with good branded food, which is healthy for our body. Obviously, cholesterol can be hereditary in the family tree. It could be your grandfather had it, your grandmother had it, your mother has it, your father has it. It could be that when you got married, both families have it, then your children are bound to get that genetic disposition even more. A lot of things lie subdued, undisturbed in our body. It could be cancer, it could be blood sugars. We all carrying these things genetically. It could be blood pressure, it could be cholesterol. Yeah, but that doesn't mean, it could be eczema, it could be psoriasis. But if it goes to PD to PD, to generations, and both mother and father, parents had the same thing, you have now produced an offspring, and now this has become a genetic disposition, which is your family tree, and there you are. Then your child, your offspring, if you do not take care, will become a victim of 1, 2, or 3 diseases. So this is a family tree that we need to follow and address very carefully. I'm going to be taking you onto a journey which is going to give you so much information into this show, and always trying to produce very, very informative shows, creating them, making them so informative that you can practice things at home. My clinic number, for those who have not taken note, is 07886 880591. I do come to Birmingham twice a month, which could be up to 6 days of that month, sometimes 4, sometimes 5. And then I'm based in Ivor, Buckinghamshire, very near Heathrow Airport, where you can make a call and make appointments to suit you. I have patients flying from every walk of the world, from every corner of the world. Jado bimari aandi, a person does not see how many oceans he has to cross, how many samundar tapde. That's when you say, kuch bhi kala par main bimari dur karni hai. But my treatment and my program is to make you aware, let's not get to that state. I'm taking you to a journey now of something you've never heard, which is called Tukmaria. Tukmaria. It's also known as Takbalanga. It's also known as basil leaves. You will again see these things coming on the screen for the benefit of the viewers and listeners. Basil leaves or Tukmaria is such an amazing thing that it promotes cardiovascular blood circulation. Simple seeds. How to take them? That's another story. You need to keep listening to my show. Tukmaria is so high in vitamin K that stops clotting. Tukmaria is great for your bone structure and for your cardiac condition. What an amazing seed that can be used, and such a small packet at the cost of your life. A simple packet could be 79 pence, and now you're even getting bigger packets. And I've known Tukmaria for the last 6 decades. That is a wonderful thing. Basil seeds help reduce cholesterol, folks. it is so magical. It's in its food state form, which is really, really good. Obviously, it has very high amounts of fibers which help the absorption of cholesterol. So taking tak Maria, which is a quantity, keep listening, have a paper and pencil ready. How much to take it and when to take it is very important. And in what form, that's also important. So it has so much fiber that helps to absorb cholesterol in the intestine. If the intestine gets too loaded, it's going to throw it back to the liver. The liver can't deal with the BS. The liver will throw it back into the blood, and this chakkar carries on. And the cholesterol for sure will never come out of your system. You now have been labeled by your doctors at NHS that you are a high cholesterol patient. A bag, a label that you carry, a label of IBS, a label of cardiac condition, a label of blood sugar disorder. All these labels come up, but do we want to keep them on, or do we want to, you buy a fabric, before wearing it, you take the label off, you take the price tag off. This price, that tag you've been put on, do you want to keep it on your body? Do you want to take it off and start looking after your body? Let's remove these tags and these prices and these labels, and let's not brand our life with materialistic things, but things that are going to be helping us in our future well-being. Your health is your wealth. That is my motto. If you make good food, have good health, then buying materialistic things and working hard is your prerogative. Obviously, you have every right to enjoy your life. Here comes a status of people who work 15, 20 hours of the day, get their levels of status of life high, having come migrations, our people have worked so hard, our parents have worked so hard, our forefathers have worked so hard, but the third generation is coming clogs to clogs in health. And they are burning the money that's been made by the forefathers through drugs and smoking and bad food and lifestyle and bad language and little spiritual connection. All these things create a wonderful balance. So Tak Maria has, it's a coolant for the heart. It's coolant for heartburns if somebody is suffering from acid reflux. How amazing! Half of this, 3/4 of England is under some allopathic drugs for acid reflux, for cholesterol. 2 in 3 people actually have cholesterol of 5 and over. That is shockingly high figures, and we really need to address this. If we as a community can approach our children and give them this information, get them to listen to the show, record it. Hence, I'm doing it in English because every loki कहते thadi Punjabi gudi hai. Jahan younger mothers, third generation, they कहते we do not understand your Punjabi. I didn't know my Punjabi was gudi. I know my Punjabi is very simplified. I can't speak much more gudi, but I try to simplify it a lot. It helps relieve indigestion. Tak Maria has so many great properties. Esophageal reflux, it's so good कि जिन्हां नू गले चों अवत आई जांदे आ, acid reflux, Tak Maria basil leaves are great. But I'm only talking about other benefits. Other than that, it's for cholesterol. This assists in the regulation of blood sugar. It has got properties for helping regulation of blood sugar, although foods that have taken in what form will take a little time to work. Basil seeds, they have concentrated nutrition and they are high in carbohydrates and proteins, vitamins and minerals, and very high in vitamin K. That's the properties of Tak Maria. 2 teaspoons of a day in daily requirement is enough for your daily vitamin K. 2 teaspoons in what form? Keep listening to the show. What form we need to have these 2 teaspoons. In the second half of the show, I will tell you in what form, in what shape, in what quantity. We'll be talking about the good foods, and here is when I'll be racing through my show now. Have a paper and a pencil ready. Stay tuned with Manjeet Kaur Show in a short break.